What started as just a quick play for profits back in January of 2021 turned into something much bigger than anyone could have ever hoped. Thousands of hours of research, millions of investors, and relentless media coverage all brew AMC into becoming something much more than just a meme stock. For many millions, it became a stubborn act of defiance against the ruling institutions who, under the veil of obscurity, manipulate the prices of stocks so as to reflect whatever price they want things to be. For others, it became a last bastion of hope to make money and be able to live the life they once hoped for but were denied as inflation and poor politics stole it away from their very hands. Whatever category you fit in within the AMC investing community, one thing was clear: you held strong, through the worst financial reports onto the worst institutional media attacks. The price was dragged down and yet you held firm. And through countless efforts and overall economic recovery, AMC began to find its foot. In pure astonishment, we saw what was a company on the brink of bankruptcy pull itself up and out of that hole, and on the last earning reports AMC has this year, for the first time, AMC managed to show not only strong numbers, but positive cash flow. AMC has shown time and again they not only have the ability to make good on their payments on the debt they have, but now start to grow. What was once seen by many as an impossible task had now transformed into an epic story of defiant survival amidst all odds, overcoming the putrid hatred by the financial institutions that once sought to destroy it as much as the general global influences that weakened its position, like the pandemic. And yet, in this hour of triumphant victory, we taste defeat. At least, not completely, but a very uncomfortable amount of it. AMC's CEO Adam Aron convinced enough shareholders that his interests in AMC are to save it via dilution. It doesn't matter if AMC already has enough liquidity as their SEC filings show. Adam Aron strongly believes that AMC cannot survive without hundreds of millions of dollars of cash on hand derived directly by their shareholders. As such, he made proposals, he talked to investors and managed to get enough votes for people to vote yes on APE units. Millions of investors, relying on the confidence and goodwill of Adam Aron himself, signed away their investments, and so APE units were introduced. I expressed my worries, doubts and negative inclination towards this move as soon as it was announced. I warned, and feel free to check back to all the countless videos I made talking about this, that APE units were being forced down our throats with two main goals. One would be to raise cash directly from you and into AMC, and the other would be to allow for further dilution down the road. I warned many times, perhaps not enough to be honest now that I look back, that this was also an attempt to get more permission to dilute the company much more than what Adam Aron was advertising. Of course, having such opinions, especially at the time when Adam Aron boasted high investor confidence, earned me a ton of dislike, hatred, contempt and unsubscribers. I was, however, not swayed, and began to question AMC and Adam Aron's actions more and more. Time would go on. Things of suspicion would arise, but AMC was reporting stronger numbers each earnings season, which quelled any significant dislike. Then, Adam Aron went public and shared his next ambitious plan for AMC. It was not well received. You see, as much as AMC continues to struggle, it is not in do or die position. Yet, Adam Aron's approach to managing it seemed in total opposition to this reality. Adam Aron said, through various public statements, that he intended to dilute AMC, bringing APE units back into AMC, and then reverse splitting the stock. Of course, the word dilution sent a frenzy, and the stock was affected by it for sure. It is hard to invest in a company that wants to dilute more. When a company dilutes, your ownership is significantly reduced. Dilution, for those a bit more unexperienced, is when a company plans to sell shares. This almost always ends with investors owning less proportions of the company as well as taking significant losses as there is a reduction in value. It also keeps many investors away, as any company diluting is typically seen as a risky investment. Adam Aron convinced millions of investors in a court that this was both fair and what was best for AMC. As such, last week, we began to see the realization of this. The result is devastating. I am being 100% objective and unemotional as I write this, and the reality of the situation is that people are angry. Maybe not all, but a very loud portion of them. In the last week and a half or so since AMC began to sell off, I have been reached through Twitter and Discord private messages by long-term investors of AMC who are now holding losses all the way from thousands of dollars to even millions. People have seen their investment fall literally 70% in a week. Of course they would be angry. I can confidently say this is the worst week I have seen for the AMC community, and it saddens me to see so many people trying to excuse Adam Aron. Before pointing fingers and talking about what happens next, I do need to make some extremely clear to you. Through pain, thick and thin, I will continue to be an AMC investor. I have been selling puts and calls for a long time and have made my original investment back on it through these actions. I will not stop covering AMC because the reality is that I still believe in the business. I don't believe in Adam Aron nor the board. But as a business, I believe in the fundamental value that AMC offers. The management team, however, is beyond any saving grace. I think they are questionable at best and criminal fiends at worst. It pains me to also watch millions of investors defend their actions, mostly because I understand that this will actually get even worse. You see, Adam Aron has made it painfully clear that he thinks dilution will save this company. Forget about performance. Forget about good earning reports. Adam Aron is not concerned with the fundamental value AMC holds, but rather taking opportunity with the millions of investors who still defend him to be used as guinea pigs to derive cold hard cash from to enhance value. Let's all stop for a moment and start fresh on this topic, now that covered all that's happened, because I want to talk about AMC in the now and tomorrow, and transitioning to this requires us all to depart from the same spot and remain level-headed. Due to all the reasons I explained above, AMC is being shorted like crazy. Yes, hedge funds and other institutions are having the time of their lives shorting this company down. How low can it go? People are saying AMC cannot go back to being valued at $5 where it was sitting at for a long time because doing so would mean the company would lose half of its market cap for no apparent reason. To this, I say you are 100% wrong. Hedge funds and other institutions are 100% betting on shorting this company even further for a variety of reasons, but there is one that actually seems to intend to do the most harm, so let me explain. Markets are playing arbitrage by shorting AMC right now. There's plenty of money to be made and you can bet those rich billionaires got yachts on their order lists. AMC shares were diluted a full 90%. I do not think many of you realize how big of a deal this is. This kind of dilution can easily break a company, or set it in a path where it's almost impossible to climb out of. We will talk about this in more detail later in the video, but you need to be aware that AMC's shares got diluted by 90%, which is incredibly concerning. On their last 8K filing with the SEC, AMC said, and I quote, "Upon effectiveness of the charter amendments, the company also intends to initiate an at-the-market program for the issuance and sale of up to 25 million shares of new Class A common stock on a reverse split adjusted basis from time to time at market prices in order to strengthen its liquidity and balance sheet." As of right now, AMC has 150 million shares in their public float. What the document means is that AMC can sell a further 25 million shares in the market, which translates to saying that AMC can dilute an extra 17% of the overall float. So you might be saying this is bad but not horrendous, that the biggest downside of it all just passed this week. You would be completely wrong to think this, because further in the filing we once again see AMC's next move, and it's not pretty. After this split, AMC will have the authorization to further issue up to 550 million of AMC common stock. So let's make sense of it all real quick. Right now AMC has around 158 million shares. After they issue the next 25 shares of AMC, there will be around 180 million shares. But then when you incorporate the last statement I made, which says AMC will have an authorization to issue up to 550 million shares, we just need to subtract 180 million from 550 million and we come up with 370 million shares. That is, AMC will have the ability to issue 370 million shares extra after the 25 million share dilution that is coming up next. You think that AMC being at $10 is low? Wait until they dilute it more than ever, it be under $1, which I figure they will solve by doing a reverse split, but that won't change the value you have. Remember, a reverse split simply means a conversion of less shares that are worth more. Imagine you have 10 bills of $1 denomination and you change it for a single $10 bill. You still have the same amount in the end. AMC will do reverse splits often in order to comply with exchange rules so that it can continue trading in the open markets. This will be how they rationalize and confuse their investors with the new dilution that is coming next. They know it's wrong. They know we don't like it, and even Adam Aron spoke about it when he wasn't cowering and hiding 2 years ago in an interview with Trades. Take a look for yourself.
We have absolutely no plans to split our stock or do a reverse split of our stock. But even now, we're sort of planning, if we need more money, what do we do? Because the worst thing that I could possibly do is let the company share price slide back down to $1.91.
Right.
As people come out and again try to doomtell and naysay the future prospects of AMC. Like, you're well aware, there's one analyst who put out a report says our share price is going to
A penny. Yeah. Right.
There's another analyst who said our share price is going to $1. There's another analyst who says the share price is going to $2. Personally, I like the report that came out from an analyst.
AMC will issue more than twice its current market cap in the future. It will absolutely tank the price of the stock. This is not some opinion you are hearing. I am deriving this information both from the SEC filing that AMC itself submitted as well as the public formal statements shares by their CEO Adam Aron himself. This is the reason why the stock is getting absolutely clapped into oblivion every day, because hedge funds are obviously taking advantage to further hurt the stock, and because also the stock market in general is selling off, and I don't blame them. I see a lot of misinformation online that AMC investors are not selling. This is a lie. Over the past 2 weeks, I have been bombarded with messages from investors asking me about selling. There is real panic taking place. The AMC subreddit is filled with posts from investors saying they are done with the stock. You can try to cope out and say these are all just shills from a mass media attack, and you would be wrong again. These are genuine investors because I am having real conversations with tons of them, and it makes sense to panic when you take a 70% loss on an investment and are looking to lose even more in the future because AMC and Adam Aron want to dilute even further. People are just factoring everything that is happening and taking action. The most painful truth about all of this that is happening is that it doesn't even need to happen. AMC does not need to dilute. Adam Aron is not being genuine when he says this is the only way. I think he is a man out of touch with business and reality, and it's time for you to see it too. The main thesis behind people excusing this is that they think AMC just absolutely needs to pay off its debt immediately, because doing so will prove the short thesis wrong, and are under the wrong belief that AMC will squeeze immediately after. This is wrong. GameStop is another meme stock that has no debt, and yet they have not seen a squeeze in a long time either. AMC can pay off its debt and gain market valuation, but if it does it at the expense of dilution, it will not gain anything. Every time it dilutes, you get less and less ownership, and your holding value is reduced. What is the point of causing an AMC squeeze if you own 1% of your initial investment only to enjoy seeing it run to 2%? It sounds incredibly silly to say that dilution will save AMC because it just makes no sense. AMC is able to make good on their debt payments, as clearly shown on their last earnings. They are not missing payments or being late. They can simply continue to do business, enhancing where they see fit, being more cash flow positive and operating smoothly, but instead they want to take this nonsensical route that the CEO still has yet to explain. He stated they want cash in on hand for winter and to pay off debt, but they already have cash in on hand and are making payments on debt, so what's the issue? As Charlie from ZipTrader said, paying debt with dilution is like selling a part of your house to pay off your mortgage, except that in this case you are paying off AMC's mortgage with your house, aka your investment. Does it make sense for you to sell 90% of your house to get rid of payments on your mortgage? Absolutely not. AMC is currently trading at prices lower than it was when it was forced to shut down their business during the pandemic. This is a bigger deal than you might think. AMC is trading at a lower price than when they were forced to shut their business down for an uncertain amount of time. This is because of the disgusting levels of dilution the company has embarked in and plans to continue doing. If AMC wasn't diluting, the stock would be up significantly. Look at how the stock blew up when the conversion was denied by the judge. The stock ran up like 100% after hours. It goes to show you that the real reason it's going down it's because of AMC's management decisions. I don't think everyone is panic selling, though a significant number of people are or are thinking about doing so if my own experience and judgment serves right. The real reason we are going down is because the market, hedge funds and banks are all shorting the company big time because they know that AMC will dilute over and over and over until they can't no more, and that creates the perfect market situation to bank huge loads of profits for these institutions. AMC's CEO and management board have created the perfect conditions by which hedge funds can further stump on us shareholders. We, the ones who saved AMC from bankruptcy, The ones that came to do business and flip them around into turning profitable, are now tasked with holding the burden of watching out investment fall before our very eyes. It's impossible not to feel contempt towards AMC's management right now. What is funny to me is that, had AMC management held from diluting for a couple years, AMC's price would have definitely risen, which means if they wanted to dilute, they could have made so much more money doing it later than now. They could have sold shares at maybe 10 times its current value and made it so much easier and faster to pay off debt, but instead they want to sell it when AMC is at record lows, which means they don't get a lot of money. You see your investment further reduced and it becomes a more unattractive investment opportunity for others. Don't let others confuse you as to this. AMC needs more investors to create perfect squeezes, and I am not talking about MOAS in this instance but rather those big run-ups like the ones we used to have in 2021. AMC needs to create a situation where there is a rush of people that want to buy shares that are not available, creating a squeeze in price. That kind of volatility is what creates momentum in long-term investors. AMC has been having record years in terms of profit, of ticket admittance at their locations, of revenue, and yet, management has completely torpedoed any potential growth for the company through their direct actions. I know this is hard to hear for many, but I directly challenge you to tell me I am wrong in the comment section and explain to me why. Explain to me why on a year when the market is seeing growth and recovering, AMC is still down. Explain to me why, if not for Adam Aron and his friends at the board, is AMC tanking when their finances are going up. If you blame the hedge funds, you will be right, but who created the perfect market conditions to tank AMC over 75% in 2 weeks, because this wasn't random at all. Who is the one deciding to dilute your shares, your value and investment, for no objective reasoning? Paying off the debt is cool but not if you are giving up most of what you have. I will continue to be an AMC investor. I will always cover this company, through thick and thin as I promised. I will not walk away because I see this as my duty to you my dear viewer, to inform you as best as I can and not feed you the crap others do to remain in your good graces. I believe in AMC as a business but their management is cannibalizing us investors. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you for watching the video through its end. Join my Discord if you are interested in day trading and hope to see you on the next one. To the moon.